Hi and welcome to Piano School Publishing, video online tutorials. This is Preparatory book and it's page 94 and 95, our Create and Play. Okay, so Create and Play is all about writing your own songs and composing your own songs. And the spin-off from this is also improvisation, where eventually you'll be able to take someone else's idea and add your own style into it. But it's important that we start this early and to develop that natural sense of creativity and experimentation. Okay, now writing your own song. So this one's a bit different because the left hand has been put in here for you. So it actually says that you've got to play C chord here, G7 chord, C chord, C chord, C chord, G7, C chord, and C chord. So what that means is for the right hand, we are limited to what we can do, but there's still 1,000,001 possibilities, and then some. So the best way to write a simple melody for the right hand is to stick to some basic rules, which are, if it's the C chord in the left hand, if you only use the notes C, E and G, then you'll be fine, because that will sound really good. Because if we have C chord and we play C, E and G, it's going to sound good. If I go out of those notes, you can hear it doesn't sound so good. Now that's not to say that when we play C chord we must always play notes out of C chord. That's definitely not the case. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. So just what you want to do is you can start off writing in a simple melody. And let's say, for example, we just use minims. So we might start off with a C here because C sounds good and we'll put a minim there, and we might go to E then. Alright, now G7 has B, D and G in it. Now just to complicate things, G7 also has a D in it, which we don't normally play, but it's there. And so when we're writing melodies, we can actually use it. So G chord technically has B, D, F and G, 4 notes to choose from. So we could in here go D and then F. And then we could go E, which is out of C chord, and G. And we could finish maybe on E for 4 counts. And then down here we could come back maybe. So we've sort of had the melody's been moving up. We might want to move the melody back down. So we might go G down to E and then F down to D and then E up. I'm going to go up to G to finish on C. It sounds good to finish on C because this song is based on C chord and it's the strongest chord and it'll sound good, and we'll learn more about that later. So I'm going to play you what I've written so far. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. That melody sounds perfectly good. And there are hundreds of other combinations that you can do for your own melody. But to spice this up a bit, so remember before I said we can add notes from outside of the chords. We call these notes, we can use these notes what we call passing notes. So for example, in the first bar I've got C for 2 counts and E for 2 counts. So what I might do is change the C to a 1 count and then add a D after it to a 1 count. So it'll go C, D, E, 2. Okay, so I'm going to suddenly go C, D, E, 2. And I'm going to do the same with the next bar, where I'm going to turn the D into 1 count and make E the passing note. So I'm like filling in the steps in between. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to continue the pattern into the next section, into the next bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I could come down here. So I could go G, F, E. Got to remember to change all their values. F, E, D. And then I could go E, F, G. Right, and I could actually have 4 crotchets in here maybe. E, F, G, E, C. So now it's going to sound like C, D, E, 2, D, E, F, 2, E, F, G, 2, E, 2, 3, 4, G, F, E, 2, F, E, D, 2, E, F, G, E, C, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to show you that up close. So if you want to, you can pause this and have a look and see what I've done, and hopefully it'll work out and make sense, all the stuff I was telling you before. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and create your own melodies, then learn to play the song and show it off to your teacher. All right, have fun.